Hey, good afternoon, 4G Nation. We're here with Mr. Erich Pratt. He's a Senior Vice President of the Gun Owners of America organization. Before we really get started, I just want to thank you, Erich, for sponsoring this great event. This is the reason that we're here, and what a great day we had out there at that range yesterday. Just standing behind that 50 cal was unbelievable, and it was just a pleasure to be out there with, all the different Second Amendment, lovers, right, out there.
Yep.
So I just want to say thank you for taking the time to put an event on like this. I know
Absolutely.
It takes a lot of work, but really, really appreciate it.
It is work. We got a great team. So happy to have you guys here.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, it's our first time, and we plan to come back next year just bigger and better. We want to be in the middle, right next to you.
Sounds good.
So, how did you get involved with the Gun Owners of America?
Well, it is the short answer or the long answer. The short answer, my dad was the executive director for years and years, and I ended up following him into doing this. I had a passion for it. It's kind of funny. At first, I didn't want to at all. I was very pro-gun, but I just, we grew up talking about politics all the time, didn't want anything to do with it, and quite frankly, it was in becoming a Christian and just asking God, what do you want me to do?
Sure.
Within 3 days, my passions changed, and I wanted to be involved in the fight.
Yeah.
And so, and it's funny because we originally didn't even start off as necessarily a pro-gun family, but it was that there were riots in the nation, and my dad heard a police chief saying that he didn't think they were going to be able to contain the rioters, that they were going to be spilling out into the suburbs. So he took me with him when he bought his first gun. I mean, it was before the '68 Gun Control Act.
Yeah.
That kind of dates me a little bit. But anyway, from then on, I mean, it was like the passion just grew,
Yeah, I mean, I can sort of relate. The spiritual calling, right? If you did not follow your path in joining the GOA, you would have probably never been happy. I mean, it's just the way that God works.
Yes.
He calls us all to do something special, right?
And the thing is, I love my job.
Yeah.
And so it's, they say if you love your job, you never work a day in your life, right?
Yeah.
So, no, you're absolutely right. I think I would have been miserable doing
something else.
What else,
So one question I have, what sets GOA apart from or different than like the NRA? What is different about the two organizations? Or are they the same?
Well, there's obviously a lot of overlaps, similarities. I think the thing that has distinguished us is just two words: no compromise. That is what has made us unique. And you look back at our history, why we were pushing constitutional carry. We were the first national group to push for that because we didn't think you should have to ask for permission to exercise a God-given right, right?
And that's too.
So, we don't compromise, and that's really how, when you're defending a God-given right, we believe that's how, and that's probably the other aspect to it. The fact that it is a God-given right, that means something to us. Our founders said that in the Declaration of Independence. Our rights are endowed by the Creator.
Yeah.
So because they're God-given rights, it's not, we can't, it would be wrong to compromise.
Yeah, it's interesting. Thomas Jefferson, when writing the Federalist Papers before the Constitution was really drafted, right, he talks about God-given rights all through those papers. So that's pretty awesome. So obviously there's been a lot going on from the federal level with regards to gun rights. I know that after the government passed the big beautiful bill, the GOA was hoping for maybe a little bit more than you actually got.
Yeah.
Can you explain to 4G Nation
what
the plan is moving forward to try to get some of those things
Sure,
passed?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So just to backtrack a little bit, you know how the Congress is set up where there's a filibuster in the Senate. So that makes it really hard to get things passed because you need 60 votes in the Senate. Honestly, that's a good thing because a lot of gun control does not get passed as a result of that. On the other hand, it's a high hurdle when we want to get something passed. So with the one big beautiful bill, it was a budget reconciliation bill where filibuster is not allowed. So it's going to be a 51 vote threshold. And so we saw that as an opportunity to repeal what has been, almost 100 years of infringement on suppressors, short barrel,
Right.
things
Yep.
like that. So we went for it, and we went for it hard. And it was so frustrating because, on the other hand, Trump was putting a lot of pressure. Send that bill to me by July 4th.
Right.
And they were running out of time. And so, you know what happens in a football game, right? I mean, you try to score a touchdown, but when time's running out, sometimes you just have to kick a field goal and you put it into overtime. And that's what happened when at the last second they struck out the key parts of it, which was the registration aspect. We had repealed the registration on suppressors, the registration on short barrel rifles. That was all going to be gone, and at the last second it was an unelected Senate parliamentarian that kicked it out. And so at that point we're like, okay, we'll take the no tax part, because now we can continue the fight with our lawsuit. Now that the only reason the Supreme Court has said the only reason that law was ever valid in the first place was because it comes under Congress's authority to tax. Otherwise, it would violate the Second Amendment. Now, that's the Supreme Court speaking. That's not our view, but that's what they've said. So now that we've taken away the tax, there is no authority. We think we have a airtight, strong case in the courts.
Will you need the 60 votes to get this done, you think? And how important are the midterms? The
midterms are important. I mean, now we're fighting this in court. So all that now, the 60 votes is behind us. Now it's a legal battle. Although we're still fighting it. There's other things that we can do. We can defund the registration. I mean, everything is on the table, but we're fighting on different fronts. We're fighting in the courts. We're still fighting for more in the House and Senate. So we'll see what happens, but we're just going to keep, that's what our mission is. Sure. We're defending the Second Amendment, and a lot of that involves repealing gun control.
So it's interesting when I hear you say, that's your job, defending, the Second Amendment. And that's really that's one of our 4Gs, right? God, gas, guns, and glory is all about being an advocate, especially for companies organizations like yours. This is your passion. This is what you're doing. And thank God that we have an organization like Guns of America. So I would really say to 4G Nation, you need to support this guy. You need to support the gun owners of America. The only way that we can continue to maintain and protect and preserve our Second Amendment constitutional right to bear arms is by supporting organizations like the Guns of America. So, Erich, man, what a great conversation. We appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Anything that I can do or my organization or my team can do to help support you, it would be awesome.
Well, I appreciate that. And, you're helping us multiply our voice, get the word out. So thank you for what you're doing.
All right. I appreciate it. All right. Have a good day, 4G Nation. Talk to you soon.